So the reason is the point of this isn't to create like a serene yoga studio environment. The point of this is for you to be able to regulate and process stress in a typical environment, right? So for the same reason, if you got a lipper in, I need you to spit it out.
Fresh.
No lipper. No lippers allowed. Because there's a garbage can right there. Full of mats. Yeah. Reason being is you may not have a lipper. I owe you a lipper, Mac.
Okay.
You may not have a lipper in when you get the call and you need to regulate yourself. I need you to be able to regulate yourself with just what you have all the time.
Challenge that. Yes, I will.
Probably. Yeah, you and Dickinson probably sleep with them in, but yeah, and same thing. I'm gonna say I would like you to put your water and stuff off to the side. I don't want water on the mats. We are learning to regulate and process stress with just us, just ourselves. Okay. So everything we do is really intentful, and today our class concept is processing stress, right? So this is a good one for lots of people who this is their first time, right? Without a tool to process stress, our nervous system and our brain can get stuck in that elevated state, leading to stress injuries and leading to physical injuries, right? Because that, we call it being tense because it leads to muscle tension and a lack of space in the connective tissues, right? So this, without a tool to process that out, we can get occupational stress injuries from our nervous system being overly elevated. We can get physical injuries, right, as we all know, from our tissues being tight. So we need to process that out, and that's what we're going to do today, right? So we're doing that with intentional movement, controlled breathing, and then we're going to do some recovery as well. And that's kind of our process that we're going to use to start pushing the stress out. So this one isn't going to be the cool firefighter class where we're doing it in a mask and bunker care and stuff. This one is specifically to process stress out of the system. Does that make sense? Okay. So Kevin Gilmartin, you guys all know who he is?
Yeah, obviously, but for those of us in the room,
he's the author of On Combat and On Killing.
Oh yes.
Yes. So he's a former lieutenant colonel with the U.S. Army, and he became a psychologist and did a whole bunch of research on performance and mental health and the nervous system and all that with soldiers specifically, but obviously a lot of that translates to us, right? So that graph I use with the heart rate and stuff in my presentation, that's a Gilmartin thing that I stole. Right? So Gilmartin says that stress is a combination of high demand plus low control. Does that sound familiar for us as training officers? Yeah. So the way we can deal with that is we can control our breath, right? Because we can't control what's outside of us, but we can control what's on the inside. So we can control our breath and we can control our perception of stress. So today, one of the things I'm going to challenge you to do is if you do find yourself feeling challenged or stressed or, challenged, we'll say, I want you to reframe this, right? And I want you to consciously say, I'm going to make you say it out loud, right? Because our anchor phrases, they call them CDs in this, our anchor phrases, when we say them out loud, even if we don't believe it, there's a little piece of our subconscious that grabs onto it and believes it a little bit, right? So we're going to change our perception of stress today from a threat to a challenge. And when we do that, we go down a completely different chemical route in our stress response, and it actually increases resilience. We talked about that a little this morning, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. So, to start, get you guys all laying on your backs with your heads facing towards me. So every YFFR class has the same format. We start with tactical breath work, because that's the root of everything. Then we move to our physical drills and into our neurological reset. So right now, I want you to start thinking about a 3-part breath. So for those of you who have done this with me before, I want you to sink into your 3-part breath. So belly, ribs, chest. For those of you that haven't, listen to me. So start off just by breathing in through your belly. I should see that belly move from here. Nice. Couple deep breaths through your belly. Once you're comfortable with that, I want you to inflate your belly and then inflate your ribs. And deflate ribs, then belly. Give me a couple like that. Once you're comfortable with that, I want to go belly, ribs, chest. And when you inflate your chest, don't lift your shoulders, just raise your collarbone, inflate that chest, inflate the space between your shoulder blades, and out, chest, ribs, continue this cycle for a couple of breaths. This is the root of our practice. This is what makes us doing yoga as opposed to doing stretching, okay? We're gonna maintain this breath through the entire practice today until I tell you otherwise. And your ability to hold on to this breath is your indicator as to whether you need to scale positions down or not. Ego's gonna have no place here today. I know we're all big, strong people, but yoga's a different animal. So if you are losing your breath and you're in a plank, you need to move to your knees, right? We'll talk about those if I see a necessity for it. Now we're gonna add, when you inhale, arms up above your head, take a big morning stretch, and exhale, arms down to your side. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, arms up. And exhale, arms down to your side. Give me a couple more of those. Okay. On your next inhale, you're going to keep your arms by your side. You're going to draw your knees up to your chest. And then exhale, drop your knees to your left. Don't let them touch the ground, let them just hover. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, sink to the other side. Inhale, back to center. And continue this side-to-side windshield wiper for a few breaths. Engaging your core, making sure your lower back is flat against the mat as your knees come back to center. There you go. Next time you're going down to your left, let your legs hit the floor. Stay there reclined, doing your 3-part breath for 3 breaths. It's also really important that we breathe through our nose for this as much as we can. Increases nitrous oxide in the blood, which is good for our brain, good for our circulation. Moisturizes the air, filters the air. Once you've had 3 breaths, bring it back to center. Let it fall to the other side for 3 breaths. Say silently to yourself, I release what I don't need. Once you've done your 3 breaths, knees back to center, and exhale and straighten your legs out. Okay, make your way to your belly. We're going to do what we call baby cobra. So I want you to bring your hands down to your lower ribs. Elbows in, shoulder blades pinch, and when you breathe in, use your back muscles to lift yourself up. Only 30% weight on your hands. It's just a little baby back bend, and then exhale, forehead to the mat. I want you to repeat that a few times. 3-part breath, belly, ribs, chest, chest, ribs, belly. Suck those elbows in tight. Nice.
Head's looking up like this, right?
Correct. Just look out in front of you. Think of looking out in front of you so you don't extend that neck too far. So these are like crunches for your back. Typically, especially for us office folk, our front side is strong, our back side is weak, front side is tight, pulls us over, so we're fighting that right now. Okay, up to all fours. We're gonna go into some gentle cat-cow. It's the same thing as you breathe in through your belly, ribs, chest, shoulder blades go back, head comes up as you breathe out, chest, ribs, belly, tuck your pelvis, tuck your chin. So all we're doing is getting the spine started to move here. Here, you're gonna walk your hands out in front of you. You're gonna fall into a half down dog. So hips above your knees, chest comes to the mat to open your shoulders up, arms are active. Right, this is a resting pose. It's a recovery pose, but not a resting pose. And this feeling you have in your spine and your shoulders right now, this is what you want when we move to full down dog. So sit bones facing up, spine extended. We're gonna do 3 breaths here. When you've done your 3 breaths in half down dog, curl your toes under. Bring your knees and hips up to full down dog. Bend your knees if you have to. The alignment of the spine is what's important. The stretch of the hamstrings is less important. Sit bones up, like your chest is coming towards your kneecaps. Open those shoulders. Nice, that's better. Okay, from here, walk your feet up under your hips. And then just hang in a forward fold. And grab opposite elbows if you need to, but just hang in a forward fold. I want you to inhale, halfway lift. So looking out in front of you, spine is flat. I don't need you to be parallel with the ground if that causes you to flex your spine. I want a flat, straight spine. And you're pressing into your thighs and trying to stretch your spine and your neck out forward, right? Like there's a string pulling your head out. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, we're gonna do a reverse swan dive, so arms out to the side, lead with the chest, arms above the head. And exhale, arms to the side. When you get to arms to the side, do not move. We're staying in a strict mountain pose, okay? Shoulders back, quads engaged, kneecaps up, okay? The reason is when we fidget, when we scratch, when we wiggle our toes, we're letting our mind control us, right? We're taking control of our body. We're taking control of our nervous system. We're taking control. We tell our body what to do, okay? So inhale up. Exhale, outside 90. So it's kind of like our baby cobra. Your elbows are just outside 90 degrees. Inhale up. Swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the mat. Feet back. We're going to go down like yogis, not like gym bros. So our elbows are in, and your hands are further back than you think they should be. It's like you're holding a tray, but your hands are facing up instead of down. And the elbows are in, and we go down chest first. Keep those elbows in, shoulder blades pinch, and press to baby cobra. Okay. Back down. Up the plank, press up. And back to down dog. Walk your feet up under your hips. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up. Reverse the swan dive, arms up. Exhale, mountain pose. Arms down, don't fidget. We are in control of our bodies and minds. Okay. What I want you guys to do now, so that's a sun salutation, okay? That's kind of one of our base movements that we're gonna do a lot of. Who felt challenged in that yogi push-up? Yeah, okay, good, good, that's what we want. If you're finding it's too much when we do it in the future, scaling down to your knees is totally acceptable, because this is not for strength and flexibility, this is for our mind, okay? We're gonna move into our warrior drills. So this is where the challenge comes in. So what I want you guys to do is I want your feet just a little wider than shoulder width apart. Toes at 10 and 2. Okay. The other thing with YFFR is we don't do prayer hands, right? We do warrior grip, right? So what I want is arms up, breathe in. And down, sink into your horse pose, warrior grip. Good. Up, breathe in. Out, down, horse pose, warrior grip. Good, everybody's rotating their knees out. Nice, continue with your breath. Out, up, down, in. Out, up, down, inhale.
Got backwards.
That's okay, it's okay. Inhale up, exhale down. Wait, just breathe. Let's breathe and move. Is this starting to feel challenging? Yeah. Okay. This is where our cognitive declarations come in. This is where we change our perception, right? So I need you guys to tell me, is this a threat or is this a challenge?
Challenge.
It's a challenge, that's right. Okay, now that we're at the bottom, no, it's okay. Now that we're at the bottom, we're gonna hold this for 3 breaths. Okay. So my priority is your spinal alignment. Chest up. Press into your hands to bring your shoulders back. There you go. Good. Is this a threat or a challenge?
Challenge.
And rest in mountain pose with your feet where they are. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do, I want you guys to turn your heels out so that your feet are parallel. Hands on your hips. Again, pretend there's that string pulling your head up so your spine stays long and extended, or we're going forward. You can bend your knees a little if you need to. Well, I encourage you to bend your knees so you don't hurt your backs. If you're shitty and stiff like me, this might be as far as you can get. If you have the mobility, continue forward. You can put your hands on the floor, elbows on the floor, but I don't want you chasing the position. Spinal alignment is paramount. Every breath in, think about straightening that spine out. Every breath out, see if you can sink a little deeper into the pose. When we're doing YFFR, we're always concerned with our 3 Ps: pace, perception, and position. When we talk about position, we're always talking about the spine. That's our priority. Perception is our perception of effort. I want you guys at most to be at 4% past what you think your limit is. That's where growth happens. And pace, if you can't maintain your 3-part breath, we need to scale it back. Okay, take a deep breath in and come up. And breathe out. Relax. Okay. We're gonna move and have a seat. So, if you need, like if you wanna grab a plate to sit on, if you're the kind of person who needs a block, I don't have any blocks here. If not, we're gonna go into cobbler's pose, right? So, feet together, hands on your ankles, elbows on your knees if you need. Again, big tall spine, chest is up, maintaining my 3-part breath. As I breathe in, I get tall and long. As I breathe out, I start looking forward. I'm trying to rotate at the hips, not at the spine. Say to yourself silently, I release what I don't need. If you start getting funny little shakes and stuff doing this, embrace it. This is what we call a removing the armor pose. So this starts to get into our connective tissue. If you're uncomfortable, don't fidget, embrace the discomfort. If you're in pain, stop. This is where we start getting those chemicals out of our connective tissue. One more time, silently to yourself, I release what I don't need. That mantra to yourself as much as you need it. I release what I don't need. The thing with these poses is to get into that connective tissue, we need to hold them a while. So we're going to be here for another minute at least. That 3-part breath is your anchor. Fall closer to the floor if you can. Don't force them, just let them fall. Every time you breathe in, your spine gets long. Every time you breathe out, you look forward. Hinge at the hip. That's our physical drills complete. Okay. So I want you to extend your legs out, go ahead and lay back on your mat. So we're gonna maintain control of our breathing, but we're gonna let the 3-part breath go and just breathe into our bellies. So just belly breaths now. Every time you breathe in, and then breathe out, at the bottom of your breath, say 10. And on the next one, when you breathe in and breathe out, the bottom of your breath is 9. Continue your countdown. Don't race. In fact, it's best if you don't finish your countdown in the time I give you. Take your time. Starting to wander, that's a normal thing. No one's mind is ever still. But we can redirect our focus. So when your mind wanders, bring your attention back to your breath. One last round of belly breath wherever you are in your countdown. And we're going to go into a minute of stillness. Give your breath back over to your nervous system. The call's done. You've done what you need to do. Give it back over to the autonomic system. To your right side. Bringing your right arm up like a pillow under your head. And intentionally, and in a relaxed pace, use your left arm to press yourself back up into sitting. When you're ready, just sit up. Can't always control what happens on the outside, but we can control what happens on the inside. Right? Make sense? How's that? What do you think? Like, be honest with me.